Well, hello everybody. It's your good friend Poswell here, and I'm back in action after a little bit of an absence there. As you can tell, I'm not fully prepared to be back. I'm missing my music and stuff, but in the meantime, let's just get right back to what I love to do: movie reviews and talk about movies in general and find out what's going on in our industry today. I've been gone for 2 years. I don't think anything exciting's happened since then, right? Right? Anyway, I want to talk to you today about the movie that came out recently called Yesterday. It was a movie that's based off of an alternate reality. Now, one of the best movies ever made about an alternate reality, as we know, is It's a Wonderful Life. Now, It's a Wonderful Life is, set in a world where one guy is taken out of the equation, and you see how this whole world changes. How his people change, the friends change, the buildings change, lives are changed because he wasn't around to make the difference that he made in their lives. That is a memo clearly the makers of Yesterday did not get. Now, on the one hand, I could argue that Yesterday really wasn't supposed to be about alternate reality. And if that's the case, then you shouldn't make it at all about an alternate reality. You shouldn't make it a main focus point of the marketing. You shouldn't make it a point of the whole of the movie in a way. Being an alternate reality is what this movie is about. And it's about a world where the Beatles do not exist. As a matter of fact, that's the very tagline for this movie. Imagine a world where the Beatles don't exist. Well, spoiler alert, there is no difference. The world is exactly the same. That's the biggest problem I have with this movie. It's like they didn't understand what it meant to be an alternate reality. That if you take the Beatles out of the world and they never existed, you don't just get to play their songs and the next thing you know, you're rich and famous. That's not how it works, okay? The world is different. And to be honest, grant you these are played for laughs, okay? But when it comes to the other things, so the Beatles aren't the only things that don't exist in this universe. Other things do not exist. But there has to be a connection or a reason. One of the biggest complaints I have with this movie, and as you can tell, I have a lot of complaints, it's all so random. They did things just to do things without understanding their impact on what it would have. And many things they did had no impact at all. The other part of this movie, the other side, is of course, get ready for yourselves. This is the cliche you've seen a million times before. He's a struggling artist with a hot girl who is a friend, but not his girlfriend. But she wants him as badly as he wants her. And anytime they get close to even connecting, something interrupts them in the first hour or two because movie's got a movie. You know what I'm saying? This movie is one of the lamest excuses for a romantic comedy I have ever seen in my life. Don't get me wrong, Lily James is as charming as hell, and she was the best thing in this movie. Loved her to death. Definitely made this movie worth watching, but she's barely in it. The lead tries. Don't get me wrong, he tries. But he doesn't have what it takes to carry this movie, okay? He's not the singer or the artist. If any of you guys remember CDs or going on iTunes or going on Amazon, and you saw this compilation of songs that you just love, this happened to me. I went into a warehouse, if you guys even know what that is. Back in the day, you used to have all DVDs and all movies and just a big collection of records and memorabilia and stuff like that. But anyway, I went to the store and I bought this CD because I was so looking forward to it because it had a ton of songs that I loved. But they were sang by a cover band. It wasn't the main band. They weren't performed by the original artist. They were performed by people who were basically who were meant to sing at weddings and parties and stuff. Nothing against them. Mind you, I am not against those people, but they are not who I wanted. I wanted the original singers. And that's my biggest complaint about this movie. He is not the Beatles. He is a cover band. He's a wannabe. He's got the heart, but he doesn't have the talent. And that's what this movie tried to say, that even if you don't have the talent, as long as you have the songs, that you're listening to the Beatles music, I think there's something else I can say about this, but no, I'll go into it. This is my channel. I get to waste the time if I want. The way I want you to understand this is, if you ever look at a movie and what people thought about it as it was being made, that's how you have to understand this. Think about it like Star Wars, okay? When Star Wars came out, the day before, we'll just say the Wednesday before, and I wasn't ready for this, but I'm going to go with this anyway. Before Star Wars came out, nobody had faith in it. Nobody believed in Star Wars. They didn't think it was any big deal. I don't know if you know this, but in Star Wars, one of the producers actually signed over the rights of Star Wars to George because he didn't care about Star Wars. He thought it would come, be a good movie, and go away, like a lot of movies do. And he thought that, okay, you want the rights to the characters, you want to do the merchandising, go ahead. That's how George Lucas made all his millions. Not through movies alone, but through merchandising. And when it came out and became the phenomenon that it was, their attitudes changed. You see, what I'm trying to say is attitudes change from when you first make a product to after the product's been released. And that's what people don't seem to understand about songs like Yesterday, or from the Beatles, I should say. These songs had to win over a generation of kids. And why did they do that? Because the Beatles were so awesome. The Fab Four, it was the 60s, the stars were aligned, they were a hit. You just can't take those songs, give them to a nobody, and expect him to be the one to just take off with it. And if you want that to be, you have to really convince me. Because let me tell you something. This movie clearly did not convince me that this guy could take those songs and go to the top. All right? The worst part about Yesterday, though, the biggest challenge about this movie was it was so boring. I did not laugh once. Now, don't get me wrong, other people in the audience, members, laughed. I get it. But me, the party I was with, nobody laughed in our group. We didn't find it funny. We didn't find it charming. If anything, it's just annoying, because you're trying to figure out, where are they going with this? What is the point of this? And I will tell you right now, the reason why the alternate reality sucked, because when he is switched from the world without the Beatles to the world with the Beatles, everything is the same. Nothing changes. His friends are the same. His girlfriend is the same. His life is the same. The Beatles have not been around for 40 years. So any changes that they made for the past 50 years or so, whatever time it's been, had no impact on the world whatsoever. What is the world without the Beatles? Apparently, it's the same world with the Beatles. What's the world without these other products that they took away just to take away? Just for gags. Don't get me wrong. I get it. They were just played for laughs. But everything was so random and everything was so boring, it just didn't connect. And the worst thing about it all, when he starts to make it big and he is sent to Los Angeles, that's fine. But did you really think his best friend was comic relief? Did you really think his best friend was something awesome and fun and cool? No! He was annoying. He was the worst part about this movie. He was the Jar Jar Binks of this movie because he was always there, he served no purpose, and he wouldn't go away. If anything would have made this movie possibly work is an alternate reality where his best friend didn't exist. All right, well, I gotta get this station back up again. Things up and moving. I gotta get my songs back and everything. Well, it's been a while. I've been gone. And you know, I think it's funny. I left on a. I didn't mean to leave, to be honest. I didn't mean to go. I just got busy. I just got caught up in a huge project. Exciting things are coming, not reviews, but things I'm actually creating are coming. So stick around and see what's going on my side of the computer. I'll talk to you later. Until then, peace out.